Now, you may think I live the life of old Riley, but I tell you something, you'd be wrong. More wrong than you can ever imagine. I work for His Majesty, the oh so noble King Solomon. But before I carry on, I have to tell you I'm not one of his most important or influential employees, okay? Now, I think you might have heard the gossip about the king having 700 wives, 300 concubines. Well, today I can exclusively even reveal to you all it's all true. Now, most blokes complain about having one wife, so Solomon is clearly a bit of a glutton for punishment, I tell you. I can see your faces. You're thinking, how does she know all that inside information? Well, because I'm one of them. Not a wife, but a concubine. To be absolutely precise, concubine 299. Now, since there's just 300 of us, I bet you can understand that when it comes to the pecking order around here, I don't get much of a look in. But hey-ho, I'm going to try to explain to you how it works here in the palace. So first there's the wives, and there's 700 of them. And of course they get the best treatment, right? Now when I first got here some years ago, he had about a dozen wives, so clearly a lot higher standards. Now, the guy, he just marries anything that moves. How does he do it, eh? But you need to know something else, because within our faith, it is strictly forbidden for a bloke to marry a woman from a foreign country, and therefore of a foreign faith. But Solomon, you know, he's just blatantly disregarding that rule. If there's, you know, a nice lucrative trade deal to arrange, or if it will ease foreign relationships, that kind of stuff, right? He's happy to make a compromise and make a nice deal. But because of that, we've got all these women around, and they all come from different backgrounds. They all bring their own quirks and idols to worship. And that is slowly but very surely eroding the faith of our king we so used to admire him for, right? And then we have it, a palace full of wives. They are everywhere. You can't swing a dead cat around here without hitting another wife. I'm telling you. Twice you say. So, that is the wives. Now, next down the line is us, the concubines. We're not as important as the wives. Bit of a miserable benefit and salary package, really. We're just here to serve the king whenever he needs us. That's really how it works. And for some of the girls, I have to say, there's some nice perks going, you know. Let me give you an example. Concubine number 1. Now, she's a beautiful girl, dark hair, beautiful features, absolutely dead-drop gorgeous, okay? So, understandably, she's the king's personal favourite at the moment. Now, for her, it's okay. She's got it all. She'll get jewellery, really pretty stuff, with diamonds and that kind of stuff. And then she'll get platters of fruit. Now, not just an ordinary banana or satsuma, but something really special, beautiful bunches of grapes, a pomegranate, you know, what is it called? Kumquats. There's really special fresh fruits, beautiful. And not to forget, you know, the latest outfits, Dolce & Gabbana, yeah? Flown in straight from Milan. Wow, she can't really grumble, can she? And as long as you're fairly high up on that tree, there's always some nice perks going. But you'll guess, when it comes down to concubine number 299, there's not many luxuries left anymore. I might as well walk around wearing a t-shirt saying only to be used in case of emergency. But hang on. I did get something the other day. You know what? Want to know what it was? Snickers bar. 3 months out of date. But it's something really, come on. And of course, I know how it all works around here. Because I have to tell you, when I was in my glamorous youth, at the peak of my powers, I was concubine number 12. Yeah. But no point in dwelling in the past, is there? It'll just turn you bitter, like most of the girls here. I tell you what, the bitching and the gossiping that goes around here, it's beyond belief. It's really nasty. Personally, I can't be bothered with that anymore. What's the point? Mind you, have you seen concubine number 7? I don't get what it sees in her. Her face, it's odd. It's the best way I can describe it. It looks like the back end of a chariot. Really? Now, you don't work at one place as long as I do without noticing a few things, right? And I have to say, it's sad to see the mighty fall. Because Solomon, when he was in his prime, he was a force to be reckoned with, you know, with his incredible wisdom. He ruled very effectively. And rulers from across the world came to sort out his advice and his wisdom. And now all he seems to be bothered about is building temples, palaces, encrust them with gold and ivory and all that kind of luxury stuff. But he's taxing his own people to the hilt. He's working them into the ground. Now, in his own people, they so loved him, but now they've started to despise him. It's so sad. Now, outsiders still revere him. They come from far and wide to experience this incredible wisdom. And I suppose he's still wise in his own ways. More wisdom than he knows what to do with. Wisdom coming out of his ears. No common sense, but that's a different story. But recently, I'm starting to worry a bit about the king, you know. He's getting on a bit, I know. But I think he's about to lose his marbles. The other day, I saw him just somewhere there, just pacing up and down the corridors, and he's flailing his arms around, crying out, meaningless, meaningless. Life is utterly meaningless. Well, I thought to myself, I could have told you that years ago, you know, without the supernatural gift of wisdom. Can you imagine a more meaningless life than mine? Really? Then again, I've got a very comfortable roof over my head, being fed every day. What else can a fading beauty such as I wish for? And besides that, if the king, with all his faith, his wealth, and his status and all that, if he thinks it's all meaningless, what hope is there for the rest of us? King Solomon, there was no king like him amongst many nations. He was loved by his God. And God made him king over all of Israel. And yet, he was led into sin by his greed for power, money, and status, and by foreign gods. Now work that one out if you can.